reason my connection seems to be a little muddled, so bear with me. So new topic tonight. We are going to be talking parenting. So as you can imagine, dealing with many couples day in and day out, one of the common themes that come up is parenting. Obviously, when you're married and have children, that is a stressor. That is an everyday reality for you. And there can be struggles with just communicating about parenting, being on the same page. How do we parent? What are our values? Are they the same? Do they differ? Does one parent differently than the other one does? How does that cause conflict in your marriage? And what is the answers? Again, obviously, I'm not the expert and know-all, be-all for every single issue that is out there, but certainly being a parent myself, I am in the struggle with you. And I definitely can understand some of those daily stressors that happen and occur. And of course, living in a world that is completely run by technology, and a lot of the issues that ourselves in this generation and older never had to deal with when we were younger, it can cause difficult stresses that you didn't think you needed to really think about maybe years ago. So, hi Elaine, welcome. So I wanted to bring this topic up because I definitely think that it is something that is very relevant to many of you out there. Of course, I want this to actually be led by you guys. I would love to hear what your biggest struggles are parenting. Of course, if those of you out there watching maybe are done with the whole toddler stage, adolescent stage, teenage stage, young adult stage, and maybe you now have grandkids and you just see what the struggles are and you have questions about that as a grandparent, those are very welcome as well. But I really want to try and address what you're currently going through and try to help in that way. This will be probably at least a 4-week series. There's so many things that we can talk about with parenting, various topics such as technology, independence. When do you let your child stay home alone? When do you let them get a phone? When do you let them start dating? What about just all those conversations that you need to have and to talk to them about important things, you know, sex, birds and the bees, drugs, abuse, all of those things, that the dangers that could be out there, and how do you bring those things up? How do you even broach the topic with them, right? So these are things that I think a lot of people struggle with. Also food. A lot of people struggle with just the idea of food and what you allow your kids to eat or not eat. And sometimes parents differ on that too. And that can be a big issue. You know, do you force them to eat what you cook? Do you make a separate meal because you know that they don't like what you're going to make? You know, do you cater to them? Again, then that gets into how much authority does your child have in running the house, or what dictates, you know, your schedule, things of that nature. So there's so many different topics. There's so many different things. We could probably talk about this for months, but I do want to kind of narrow it down to certain topics. So I will have main themes that we will talk about. But again, I would love to hear what your struggles are. What are your questions? You know, so certainly drop them in the comments here. Give me some ideas of what it is that you see as a stress, or something that you have questions about, or you're not sure how to bring up or to deal with or handle, or even maybe how you want to deal with it with your spouse. How do you bring up the topic of getting on the same page? Okay, I see, Elaine, you're saying my video is bad pixelation. Great. Again, something with my connection here. I'm at the mercy of technology. You know, I'm not sure why it's pixelating. I apologize for that. That can be incredibly frustrating when you are trying to watch a video. So hopefully it subsides and you are able to see. But again, it's going to be very short tonight anyways. I'm introducing this topic. I want questions from you guys. I want to be able to speak on things that are relevant to you, what can be helpful for you to engage in, and questions that you have. Again, clearly this seems like it would be just for people who are parents, who are currently in the struggle. Of course, that would be very helpful for those of you who are. But again, grandparents out there, if you're watching this, you have grandkids, or if you have nieces and nephews and you're a big part in their life, this could be helpful for you. Also, those of you maybe planning on having children, it is never too early to try and prepare on knowing what you may need to deal with and how you would handle things, and to be able to discuss that. So maybe you're married and you don't have kids yet, but to have these things to talk about with your spouse on how you would handle these things. Or maybe you're not married yet and you're just dating, to just have an understanding of how you feel about them, and to get a stand for where you feel is right for your particular life and what you would want for your children. So again, our topic is going to be parenting. I'm looking forward to this. I think that is very relevant as far as relationships go. It's another relationship, but it also affects the relationship that you're in with your spouse or your co-parent, however it looks like for your family. There's lots of different families out there: step parents, adoption, foster. There's many different ways in which you interact with children and how to parent. So again, drop me your questions. I apologize for the pixelation. I hope you were able to hear any of this. If not, please let me know. Put the comments down there and maybe I can redo this at another time. So I hope you all have a good night. Next week we will dive into our first topic. All right, guys, have a good night. Bye.